What's up, Teen Talk fam? It's your host, Deshaun B. here with
Miss KK?
Oriana.
Your boy DJ Daddy in the building.
Your girl Serenity.
Your boy the Juice.
Your girl so shy.
And your boy B. Shaw.
Thank you all for tuning into our show. We have a lot of interesting topics lined up today. But first, let's get started with some of Miss Nikki's success stories. Serenity, what's your success story for this week?
Y'all, it's been 6 days without social media, and I feel very proud of myself. I have been bored. I'm not even gonna lie. Sometimes I'll be watching a movie and I'll be like, I get no notifications on my phone. It's dry, and I'm like, why? And I'm like, oh yeah, I took them off. So yeah, but I've been growing and learning about myself, so I'm happy with that.
Okay, how about you, Oriana?
Well, I learned a lot of self-love, especially with my body and my emotional state. And I've been just inspiring people that you don't have to be one of them skinny girls to be pretty. You can be thick and be pretty too.
That's right.
I've been doing that, so yeah.
Yes. How about you, DJ Day? Tell us about some of your successes.
Well, recently I just finished my accounting school, so that, that's always a good thing to, self-educate, get that knowledge, so you can better further yourself in the game of life. I feel like life is a game and we're all players in the game and we're just playing to win, that's just real life, so that's what it's about, just education right now. And that's good. Yeah.
Education is key. How about you, Miss KK?
Well, for me this week, I went ahead and applied for my first passport, which was at first I wasn't going to get it done until January, which would have caused a lot of issues. But luckily, I was able to get an appointment the next day when I called there. So got that handled, and I will be getting my passport in 4 weeks. So I'm very excited.
You can travel anywhere you want.
Exactly.
That's dope.
This is lit. How about you, B. Shaw? Tell us about some of your successes.
I have to say my biggest success for this week, I just finished all my finals. It was a super stressful week. I was up all night, all day, just studying. And I could just finally relax. I got most of the grades I wanted, so.
Look, I'm already knowing. Congratulations on all your successes. Remember to celebrate even your smallest successes every day and throughout the week.
Hey,
oh, my bad. My bad. My apologies. What is your success this week?
Well, as you guys know, I am a senior in high school, but I just finished school yesterday. So now I am done with my high school year and I'm on to college. Just like B. Shaw, I didn't have finals because they canceled them during COVID, but I just finished all my homework. I got straight A's. I'm done. 4.0. I'm going to college in January. And now I can finally rest and get some sleep.
Look, you was where the money reside. I need to get like you.
Money reside? Where the money reside?
But all right, it's time to get the teens talking. Anytime during our show you have a question or comment, DM us on Instagram at Teen Talk Vegas 881. Today we'll be discussing different topics that happened this past year that we found to be important to us. So just sit back and listen. And anytime during our show, if you have a question, again, just reach out to us at Instagram at Teen Talk Vegas 881. Now, we all started off this year pretty strong, but with all of the celebrity deaths leading from Kobe Bryant to Chadwick Boseman, John Witherspoon, and Natalie Dessoureau, who was also even known for her role in Babes and Medea's Big Happy Family, a lot of things kind of took a toll on us. With that being said, Miss KK, out of all of the celebrity deaths, which one impacted you the most?
I think the one that hit me the most, just because I have the most connection to it, especially since I was a little kid, was definitely Chadwick Boseman. Because I knew of his work more than I knew of the others. I knew about Kobe Bryant, but I'm not a big sports fan. It wasn't really my thing. But my thing, all my friends know, I'm a big nerd for Marvel movies and the cartoons and anime. I'm in love with that type of world. So just to see him, pass away and then end up finding the story behind it, it was very emotional, but at the same time it was very inspiring. So it hit me on a lot of different levels of emotions when I found out that he did pass away.
And I understand that, because even just seeing the Black Panther, the movie felt so real, and to know that he really passed away, I feel like that's what touched people the most.
Yeah.
How about you, DJ Data? Which celebrity impacted you the most?
I feel like, even though it wasn't this year, I feel like Nipsey Hussle still was like the one that impacted, the people the most, because, Nipsey was a person who was, he taught people how to, take care of themselves. He taught people the game of life, and that you can't, get any more better than that. Even in his songs and his raps, whatever it was, if you look at his interviews, he was always sprinkling people to game, like real life game. And that's what I look up to. I'm inspired by those kind of people, because that's, who I, that's what I want to, lean towards one day. So
he was very smart, very educated. He just wasn't a rapper. He was really into real estate and business. So I see why you gravitate towards him. He definitely was a legend.
Yeah.
Other great legends. B. Shaw, what is one word that described these legends who passed away too soon?
I mean, for me personally, the one that impacted me most was Kobe Bryant. And a word I would use to describe him was, the best. Like he was just not only one of the best basketball players of all time, arguably, but he was also a great man off the court, and he was constantly inspiring the youth to do better and be like him. And he was just setting a great example. And also, like DJ Day said, also Nipsey Hussle really had a hard impact on me, because he was the one in my life who was trying to get me on the grind and get me on the hustle. And I really looked up to him. So that also impacted me pretty heavy.
Okay. And Lawrence, I see you over here shaking your head when we talked about Kobe. What are your thoughts? What is one word that describes Kobe to you?
Like literally, like as B Shaw said it, he literally stole my answer. Once again, I definitely consider him as a basketball person, or as a basketball player. But I'll also consider him like a motivational speaker. Like anytime I'll go on YouTube and type in his name, all I see is like videos of his interviews, and like literally every single interview he just talks about how he changed the game of basketball, and also to motivate children around the world, and also here in this United States. So yeah.
You've been on the grind forever.
Yeah.
But moving on to our next topic that impacted us this year, global warming. Global warming has been off in the world, and Australia is one of the bushfires who was devastated due to all of the fires that was going on out there. And with the Australian landscaping being like this thousands of years, it was something that's kind of built in with their ecosystem. But with the global warming kind of changing this year, it kind of threw everything off. But with that being said, Oriana, why do you think global warming is changing so rapidly?
I think it's because of all like the pollution that humans are causing. With like we just need to keep track of our carbon footprint. And if we do that, then I think we'll be fine, and the earth will be able to live for a couple or more so years.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. Serenity, what are your thoughts on global warming and how people are constantly littering in our planet?
To be honest, like it's not something new. Like, they definitely been filling up landmines, the trash, there's definitely been people against it. And then for them to try to fix the situation, what they do is just move it. And I feel like that's unnecessary, or they just go ahead, put it on a boat and dump it in the middle of the ocean. That comes right back to our beautiful beaches. So like, to me, I feel like, honestly, we really just have to buckle down and do something really about it, and not just keep pushing it off or like transport it. I just feel like we can honestly do better.
Yeah,
definitely. And so Shah, what can we do to better impact our planet?
Basically, as everybody has learned in their elementary days and middle school days, to not litter. Do not litter, don't use plastic, so we can better help our living animals that help make the world go round. So we can stop using our cars as much, or get an eco-friendly car as they have now. They are kind of expensive, but either stop driving your car so much, or just get an eco car where you can drive as long as you want and not mess up the earth, because that's really what's boiling down to. People don't understand that if we keep using our car and running our car every day, all that smoke is going into the air, all that litter that we're littering is going, you don't know where, but it's going into the ocean. So that's how wildfires are starting. That's how California is burning and Australia is burning. And that's how the world is closer to coming to an end. Scientific.
Well, I don't want it to be coming to an end. But
well, not soon, but if we keep going the way we are, it's gonna.
Yes. And DJ Daddy, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was just gonna add, aren't they supposed to be canceling like all gas-powered cars in California within like 2025? So it's
Yeah,
gonna be like you're gonna have to drive like electric cars like Teslas and
and Fiats and all that. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, so
I guess California got it like that.
that's gonna help the pollution, right? That's gonna like cancel like the
That's gonna
carbon
help.
dioxide and stuff like that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if you guys notice, there's not enough oxygen in the air. I don't know if y'all really noticed that. Like for me, when I went to Oregon and I came back to Vegas, it's like a whole different air that we're breathing. Up in Oregon, it's mostly trees and all that, so it's a better system for your body. But I don't know, like here, you just can't breathe like that, and that's all by causing
When the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But earlier this year, we experienced one of the worst pandemics in history. We had approximately 1.67 million deaths, 75.5 million COVID cases. Now, with that being said, Juice, how do you feel about that? Because I've seen how your eyes shot up when we said them numbers. What do you think people can be doing to kind of keep the numbers down?
Well, I would definitely say I think people at this moment should not be going out.
Mhm.
I think they need to cut that off. Like they need to cut that off. And I'll also say, if you're going out, make sure to please wear a mask, because there's people out here that just don't be wearing masks and just doing what they doing and get that Rona. So
Ew.
Mm-hmm.
And how about you, Oriana? After hearing the official case numbers, what do you think we can do to kind of decrease the impact?
I agree with what Lawrence said. I also think that travel is a big thing that people like. Sports are still doing sports like tournaments because a couple weeks ago I just went to my lacrosse tournament in Florida. Over 40 teams there, and no one had a mask on. It was crazy.
crazy.
I think that they should really cancel like tournaments and stuff. I mean, they have canceled a lot, but they really need to lock up on these other.
They might as well sweep the rest of them up. I don't see why they get leaving some hanging. Just go on ahead, dead it. But this year was also stolen from us. So be sure, knowing that this was your no, let me correct, your junior year, and I know you were saying you was doing a lot of sports. Like, what do you feel was taken from you that you definitely wanted to experience?
Man, I feel like they just took a whole chunk of my high school experience and just like threw it in the trash. Cause I mean, obviously we did as good as we could, and like, we did a lot of events and stuff like that, but it just doesn't feel the same. And I just really hope that next year it's all solved with the vaccine.
So you okay? So you mentioned a vaccine. Is that going to be something that you're going to be taking, or are you against that?
I'm definitely not going to be one of the first people. I'm gonna have to see. I'm gonna have to look what happens to people who take it, and then we'll see from there. But
How about you, Miss KK? I know you get your thoughts about the vaccine. How are you feeling?
I just think that because they're making it so fast, that's what bothers me, is that it is getting made like in a rushing type of way. I feel like once it goes through the trials and all that stuff, like, because there's just so much stuff that I'm hearing. So like the misinformation issue is really starting to worry me, and it's starting to pop up because I've heard that the vaccine is actually a 2-part vaccine. So you have to take one part of it, which gives you the flu, and then you have to take the second one within 30 days. But if you don't take it within 30 days, there's serious side effects. That kind of got me like, okay, it's a little weird. But as soon as everyone can come to us with a consensus and a plan, and it all sounds the same, then I'll definitely give it a try once everything kind of pans out and I see how other people feel about it. My worry is that it's going to be one of those vaccines that we're going to have to take to be eligible to do certain things. So I know you guys know when you go to college your first year, there's certain type of shots that you need. Same thing with high school, there's certain type of shots that you're going to have to get. And I just don't know how I feel about people forcing us to take it if we don't feel comfortable.
Exactly.
Well, to be honest, with some of them, like, they don't make you have to take vaccines and stuff like that. So, like, you can definitely either get a doctor's note or just simply say it's against your beliefs, which a lot of people, it is against their beliefs, you know? And I mean, for me, I'm just looking at it like I'm gonna wait till the trial period's over, because that's where a lot of the issues happen. And in I Am Legend, it wasn't the disease that got him, it was the vaccine that got him. I'm just saying.
Over here dropping jewels, but so shy. What you have to say as well?
And I agree with all of y'all, but honestly, I feel like Kayla, when you said that you feel like the vaccine is going to be needed to like do certain things, and I feel like that should be against the law, because now like you don't have to have a flu shot to get into certain places or to go to certain colleges. So why should you need the COVID vaccine? That's just another way to get in your mind. That's just another way to get in your mind. And with the vaccine, it's like if you haven't caught it and you don't want to catch it, just stay in the house. Like that's just number one. Don't go nowhere, don't get anything. But if you're gonna go get the vaccine, it's like I'm not gonna judge you, like that's your own beliefs, but just think about it. The flu and the coronavirus.
And like, the vaccine is not a solution for that matter.
But if you haven't got the COVID yet, is the vaccine gonna help for you not to get it if you haven't even got it yet? Like I don't get that.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, what if you already had the COVID?
Well, it's
like
preventative.
Vaccine?
It's a preventative vaccine. So just how during flu season, flu shots like go crazy and on sale and stuff, it's a preventative measure.
But
don't forget, if you don't have COVID-19, that doesn't mean you're not asymptomatic. So you have to understand what you're doing. And just don't be misinformed. But just because you haven't caught it does not mean that you can't get it or that you're not carrying it.
Right, because it's just like the flu. I had the flu shot once in my life and I caught the flu right after. So it's like it's not always preventable, and it's not always just a thing that you can prevent.
Okay. But that's all we have for right now. Thank you all for listening to our Teen Talk wrap-up discussion. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Teen Talk Vegas 881. And also check us out at teentalkvegas.com. If you enjoyed this discussion, continue listening for more interesting topics.